Thank you very much. We're ready.
Okay, today we're going to discuss the web scripting language PHP, and the presenters are going to be Jason Kovic, Ken Shirota, myself, Sean Fender, Christina Johnson. Next page. We start off basically with client-side scripts, HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. HTML was released in 1993 and is a standard markup language used to create web pages, although usually for static web pages. JavaScript was introduced in 1995 to make websites more dynamic instead of static. Then you have CSS, which is cascading style sheets, which was released in 1996 to separate styling from HTML. And of course, then we now have HTML5, which is taking over for Flash and Silverlight by allowing you to use also video, audio, and graphics within a web page. As far as server-side scripts, that's where PHP comes in. You see the other ones there, or well, you'll see that there's other ones that are like Python, Perl, and Ruby. PHP is a server-side server-side web scripting language developed in 1994, and nowadays has been enhanced from a language used to produce dynamic web pages into further support in CLI, command line interface, and graphical applications. Server-side script runs on a server, which generates client-side scripts for clients to interpret. On the negative side, it makes a round trip. So why would anyone intentionally make a extra trip? This will be covered in a later slide. Next page. PHP executes on most of the web servers today. This includes Apache, IIS, and many others. PHP can be used on all major operating systems, including Linux, many Unix variants, Microsoft Windows, Mac OS X, and so on. PHP is just an interpreter, so it does not use much memory. It is just an add-on to a web server. PHP runs on any processor. If your server supports PHP, then you do not need to do anything. Just create your .php files, put them in your web directory, and the server will automatically parse them for you. Next page. As far as features, PHP is a free software that was released under the PHP license. Server-side script like PHP hides the actual code and only presents the client-side scripts to the clients. So if you use a server-side script, users will have to go through validation. Of course, inputs should go through a stored procedure as well, and preferably synonyms to add another layer to prevent injection. And at least privileged service account should be used as usual. What developers do with input and validation using PHP is provide a first line of defense other than reverse proxy, firewall, and IPS. So we need to appreciate what developers do on a daily basis. PHP itself is an add-on module to a web server like Apache, IIS, and Nginx. Next slide.
So the perception of PHP is favorable. Its reputation among Linux people is very great. LAMP, Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP scale-ups are also popular because of cost, wide development, security, flexibility, stability, development pool, and rapid prototyping. It started to make its way into IIS, and it also runs on engines. If you'll, next slide, please. Excuse me. The market share, PHP owns the market for the usage of server-side programming languages. During a Google I/O 2013 event, one of the Google managers said that PHP runs about 75% of websites. So Google decided to start supporting PHP as an app engine hosting service. Websites like WordPress, Facebook, Wikipedia, Yahoo, PhotoBucket are all built in PHP, so it has a large market share, unlike most of the other ones. Next slide, please.
Okay, as for user interfaces are concerned, there are many GUI tools, integrated development environments such as JetBrains, PhpStorm, Eclipse series, NetBeans, Zen Studio, Aptana, PHP Designer. Despite all these really nice IDEs, some developers still gravitate toward non-GUI tools such as TextPad, Sublime Text, and even Notepad for simplicity. All these interfaces are very intuitive, and PHP itself is a very intuitive language for developers. You only have to know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to start on PHP. Next, please. Okay, this is one of the more popular GUI tools for PHP called PhpStorm. All these IDEs have integrated development environments, have many features such as code completion, refactoring, debugging, unit testing, version control, database support. Basically, all these IDE tools like PhpStorm are basically similar to other IDEs like Visual Studio and Eclipse and things like that. Next, please. And this is, even though there are so many IDEs for PHP, some developers still enjoy the simplicity of Notepad. And this is an example of Notepad with PHP in it. And as you can see, it looks just like each HTML. But if you look in the middle of it, it actually has PHP tag, and that's the portion that's supposed to be interpreted by the PHP interpreter, and the clients don't see what's inside of PHP tag. It just clients only see what's interpreted by this PHP code. Next, please.
So scalability, when you use hip hop virtual machines, these machines use a just-in-time compiler that serves as an execution engine when using PHP. Webheads for PHP are usually Apache, so Apache is scalable, so thus making PHP fairly scalable as well. When scaling up, this can be done by using almost any commercially owned servers that are available in the market right now. Using configurations such as LAMP, it explained earlier in the slide presentation with Linux, Apache, and MySQL and PHP. This gives programmers and designers a lot of flexibility and reliability when programming in a program language server-side script like PHP. Scaling out, this can be accomplished by using load balancers, DNS round robins, DNS static assignments by service. So the high availability as well is there. So it increases performance, and it can increase the performance at a long period of time, not typical seen in a lot of web scripting languages. So here's some of the competitors that are trying to tap into the market a little bit more than PHP. One of the most well-known is ASP.NET, which is ran and owned by Microsoft. So they have the super support that is Windows. So everything is, the only problem with that, with ASP.NET, you can only really run it on Windows servers, so that's a little bit limited. Python as well, it's starting to come in. It's kind of a new in comparison to all the other ones, but a lot of companies are starting to program with it. Ruby, pretty cool. Also a really good scripting language, but very hard to learn. It's just like learning a brand new language, very complicated. Takes a lot of time, but there is a lot of money in that market if you want to be a Ruby designer, because there is quite a group that's trying to break in with Ruby. Same thing with Node.js. It's fairly new, but it is making an impact in the web designing environment. JSP, also known as Java Server Pages, that's been around quite a while. It's kind of a legacy web scripting language. And it's also highly used. Perl is also very legacy, but still used out there a little bit, but not as much as PHP and all the other competitors for that matter. Cold Fusion is kind of it's very old, but new for myself and a lot of people that are kind of getting into the programming languages, because it's a package that we don't really see that often. It kind of comes with a with free when you get Adobe Photoshop. That's the first time that I ever saw it. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. What is this? But not really used too much anymore. Next slide. So summary, this is what we went through today for our briefing, sir. Some of the pros for PHP, it's free. Everybody loves free. Free is awesome. Free is great. Market penetration, as we said in a few slides back, they own the market. So it is PHP. It's wonderful. Easier than Ruby, as explained earlier. It is easier than Ruby, and Ruby is pretty difficult if you want to get into it. I suggest trying to give yourself at least 6 months to try to get a good grasp on it. Some of the cons: PHP is not backed like Windows, ASP.NET, so there is a lack of vendor support, but it does have a high community support. A lot of people backing in, a lot of forums, a lot of discussion boards. They talk a lot about it and they help each other, so that's a wonderful thing. Node.js is more scalable than PHP, but it's not as well known yet. And I say yet because it is definitely taking a little bit of control over it.